with them, so I'm trying to avoid them. Hey B, you look pretty good. You hanging in
I'm trying.
there? We trying. We trying. God is good. God is good. I've been texting you, and I'm like, I got to get Aiden his own phone because this is not working.
Yeah, I didn't know you texted me last night.
I think yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't even see this. I didn't even see this. And then today at work, um, I was running rehearsals for the Black History program, so I'm not sure. I see some messages people were messaging me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the kids had my phone.
Why
Yeah,
is it always a kid that got your phone, babe?
yeah, and they first of all they told me that my phone is accepted, is what they said. Um, they'll accept my phone because it's a Galaxy, because I don't got an iPhone. I'm so sick of these kids. So my
Listen,
phone, I'm in a click.
you're in the click. Mm-hmm. You're in the click, and we will take it. Amen. Amen. What did I do here? Okay, I think we are. Yeah, I think we are. Miss Brianna Jackson.
Yeah,
Hey, Bree.
Why is our face crunched up today?
yes. My sister just called and told me some things that I didn't like.
Okay. Well, we live. We're not gonna put it out on the air.
I'm not,
Okay. Okay. Is everything well at least? Can we say that?
for the most part.
For the most part. We're gonna love everybody through their spaces and places.
Okay.
We are. I wish
Yes.
I was closer. Like I need one of y'all to have a house. Well, let me rethink that statement. If one
What?
of y'all lived on one side and on the other, I probably would have to move out.
What? And why would you do that?
Listen, I would need to figure that out. Listen, those of you who are joining us on Facebook, welcome to LYFE Forum. It is three. Oh, I ain't even got my video on. It's terrible.
I was about to say,
I look all of this lovely.
well,
It
I can't see you until the announcements are gonna be over. So
Oh, okay.
definitely look nice.
We running announcements. We are live. Auntie Ursi, don't bother me today. Don't bother me
Hey,
today.
Auntie
We
Ersty.
yes, we all the way live and we on here. We can get started. We love sending the announcements just because the announcements get to show some things that people can see about what it is that we're doing. As soon as we take them down, we can see everybody. So take a look. We just sent out the reminder, get some people connected. I am still testing
Oh
the
yeah, you on your page, not the Coach She page.
yes. So if you would help me, because for whatever reason, that page is giving us a lot of problems.
I'm
You
sharing
all
it.
help me share that, spread the word, get that in some other spaces because it's easier to do it from there. Maybe next week we will test YouTube just
Okay.
to see where people are going to be. But yeah, share it for us if you can. Share it for us.
I'm sharing.
Hmm. Started out cool today, y'all, and then it got a little bit warmer. Y'all got snow. Y'all got snow up north, B, right?
we had like a mixture. It was supposed to start snowing again at 4. It was it wasn't nothing major. It looked worse than it actually was, and nothing really. It didn't really like accumulate to nothing. It was melting as soon as it hit the ground.
Oh,
And then
okay.
at 4 o'clock, it was supposed to do something else, and it the sun came out. Thank you, Lord. We oh, thank you. We done. We don't need you no more.
We
No,
got
I got my two storms and my snow week. Thank you.
Did you guys get off today?
No, Pennsylvania closed schools though.
Yeah, my sister's state did. Yeah, I did hear that. So I
Oh,
was like,
B, are you in Delaware?
Yeah, I live in Delaware.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you were somewhere else,
I mean,
child.
I'm from PA, but I've been in Delaware for the last 11 years.
mm-hmm.
Probably why.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Would you go back?
Um, Probably not.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Understand.
have I have no interest in moving back to Pennsylvania,
Amen.
which is absolutely funny because I had no interest in moving to Delaware.
That's a whole story.
Did I, Apostle?
Interestingly enough, in the direction that it is, Pennsylvania and Delaware are like what, 15 minutes away, just depending on how you approach it.
It's depending on how you get there.
So
You can walk from PA to Delaware.
you sure could.
Good evening, Miss Margaret.
Miss Margaret, who's Miss Margaret? Is she on live?
Yeah, it says
Oh,
Margaret Johnson.
excellent. Yes. She is a member of Transformation Church. God bless you, woman of God. Thanks for joining us tonight. We can take these announcements down so that we can get started because we are without. She said, sorry, hood evening. I'm sure that that
You
means
try to
good
say good
evening,
evening, yes.
but we could take that a whole couple of ways. Don't start nothing, Margaret Johnson.
Okay.
The mistakes be the things that will determine where our mindsets are tonight. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's take this down. Let's see where we are. B, can you see us now? You can see us now. Then your phone went on mute, though. Your mic is muted.
I can see you guys.
There you go.
Hi,
Excellent.
ladies.
Margaret, I knew what you meant. I was just using it because we could move from one spectrum to the other very quickly.
Here we
Man,
can.
so glad to see you all. I'll be trying to stay connected. I think I did good last week. Trying to stay connected to everybody. I answered everybody's calls when they called.
Hmm.
I did good, right?
Hmm.
You
We're
did
cool.
good about I can't speak for everybody else.
Okay.
You did good, Apostle, for me.
Ma'am, if my ears are not burning, my fingers are. So don't even try it, Brianna Jackson. Do
Yeah.
not.
If you want to be a phone VIP, that will never happen.
Oh,
She
yeah.
will make you she will make you conform to text message. I texting?
Right. Because when it first started, I felt a little special, and then
Yeah,
it just
don't do
fizzled
that.
out. Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself. Was I texting?
Listen,
I
so
wasn't.
I am so mad that Bernicia Jackson just called me out like that.
I'm
It's
just telling you that
true.
people have conformed to you.
Well,
It
she's a
is true.
traveler.
But let me explain now what that looks like looking
Mhm.
back. So, what people don't recognize is that I may be in the middle of a whole bunch of things, but when I see people that are important to me, I don't like for them to wait.
Mm.
So if I am, God forbid, listening to someone, right? And I'm like, hold that thought. I need to respond to somebody to at least make sure that things are okay. Once I recognize that things are okay, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get back to you. But they gotta be
Mhm.
okay first.
Okay.
But B is absolutely right. She shouted me all the way out. Yes, people have conformed
I
to
mean,
this texting thing with me. They have
Oh,
because
and voice notes. Oh,
I'll be, but voice notes have blessed my whole life. When I tell you, I read people's energy and information through a voice note. I'll be like, voice note me, just let me know what's going on, and then I can voice note back. But I promise you this, you hear me in the voice note like I'm present in front of you, don't you?
true.
Huh?
And I'll give you that.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. And I love that.
no
Agape
great.
always, Dr. Rodney Pearson. So glad to have you on today. That's a fellow therapist from the Phoenix area that's doing some great things out in that space. And so grateful to have you joining us, even if it's just for a few minutes or for the entirety of this particular forum session. I am delighted to have my ladies with us. Our ladies are with us. Yes, that's true. Auntie Ursi, do not endorse what the saints are saying, please.
listen,
She's on our side. She is
listen,
on
let me
our
tell you
side.
something. It was so bad. Like, let me tell you, there's levels to this
Is
because
it?
Apostle is a texter, but she used to be an emailer too. She would say, "I'm gonna email you." I'm gonna
Yeah.
email. Who emails people? Apostle, apparently.
Until text
So
message got real
one
heavy.
night, I will never forget. And I don't delete emails. I have over 100,000 emails
Which
in
is,
my
and
inbox.
I don't either. I keep them.
I don't delete emails. One night we were emailing to like it was absolutely after 12 o'clock. And it was paragraphs. And I
Mhm.
was like, I gotta respond to this.
Yes, but let me tell you why that's
Ridiculous.
important. It's so important because there are words, confirmation words, conversations that I keep that still give me life today.
Mhm.
I've got prophetic messages. When I first met Dr. Rick, when I was living in Illinois and he was in Milwaukee, he used to send me emails and I still got them. And it changed the trajectory of my whole life. I I refer to words. I hear words like I hear voices. So I didn't mean to conform people, but I wanted to value their words even when they stopped talking.
Hmm.
Mhm. Oh, that was me. Let me tell you something though. Dr. Pearson is on, and I don't know why he decided to come this way. He saw that live. But let me tell you, one of the greatest things about this man is that he moves in silence. We were in a coaching class together 11, 12 years ago. And at some point, he sent me a message and he said, "You know what? I was asking about going back to school." And his words at that moment provoked me getting back into school at that time and led me into the doctoral program that I'm in now. And he just simply said, if you're going to do mind work, you're going to need more training, and I encourage you to do it because you're good at coaching, you're good at what you do. But if you're going to do intense mind work, I encourage you to keep going. And he probably doesn't even remember saying that to me. He sent me a message through Facebook. But that thing, it gave me a whole bunch of life. I got over on this side, got uh, past the Florida State licensing exam, finished the hours, got into this next level of school. People don't have to say a lot of words. It could be two words and it can influence you in a way that you never even believe. So, Dr. Pearson, thank you. You probably didn't even know all of that. I haven't seen you to even be able to catch up with all of that. But I want to tell you, thank you for inspiring all of that for us today. For me, I'm grateful for the influence that you've had on my journey as well. So, they was fussing at me, and we don't even have our other partner because tonight that man is in rehearsal, and this is the night that we are honoring our Black iconic men who live right in the midst of us. And it's the ladies that's doing the honor. Maybe God set that up that way. What you think?
Great possibility.
Great
Maybe so.
possibility so that we can speak well of our brothers, so that
Hmm.
we can encourage them and empower them.
Yes, of the brethren. Mhm.
Yes, before we get into that though, I put a whole slideshow together because the two men that I thought to bring on tonight, one is in Pennsylvania in a grief counseling situation. The other one is on a flight to Amsterdam. And I
Oh
said,
wow.
nobody's going to be available. Nobody's going to be in town.
These
Like,
important peoples.
right. My father's ditched me. But it is so good so that they are doing what they're doing, and I'm so grateful for it. But we had put word out to Dr. Rick to join us tonight. He's traveling. We put word out to Bishop Hannah to join us tonight, and he starts the grief counseling space today. So we added them or included them in some other way at this particular space. So we'll honor them. Anyway, we're going to start with life thoughts. What you guys been thinking about this week?
Try, keep going.
Come on. Yes.
Keep going. I feel like now at this point, anything that people try to put their minds to, start the new year off, at this point, it's starting to fizzle out.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I do this? Why did I make these decisions? I said I was going to do this. I don't want to do it no more. Just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, it'll be the middle of the year and then it'll be another new year. Just keep going.
Sure will.
Continue putting God first and He'll help you get through it.
Mm-hmm. He will. See, and the reality of that is that there's no promise that we won't be tired, right?
Dr. Rodney is he yelling at you? Because I see the exclamation.
Look, because I didn't even know. Look, but I just gave you complete honor. Thank you for your influence in my life, right? I didn't know you like 3 hours away from us. Yeah, I should have thought about that. I will next time. You are one of my iconic brothers. I appreciate you. He can yell. It's okay.
No problem.
Listen, I love that encouragement about us telling the saints to keep going. The saints who I call all of humanity the saints because I believe that all of the people are people of God. All of us stem from him. And so I just say I love that space. I love that encouragement because sometimes we don't always feel like it.
True.
Yeah, that's the life thought. Kudos. Where you at, Bernicia Jackson? What's your life thought this week?
Um, you know, I'm kind of where Bree is, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it into words. I have just been focusing on being focused.
Uh-huh.
I've been focusing on being focused. I said it before, like I think I'm old now, so I'm not as like things affect me a lot differently than um they did in my I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Things just affect me differently now in my old age.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think as much as I thought that I wasn't enduring when I was in my 20s,
Mm-hmm.
um, and 30s, like I felt like maybe I was doing a better job.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, Belle, all right, get back up.
Mm-hmm.
Belle, do I gotta get back up?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, um, and I know I was talking about it at work today. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, well, actually I was talking to one of my students, and we're saying like a lot of times people like, why is everything so like extreme? Like either you gonna be here or you just want to, some people just want to die. I don't want to die, I just don't want to hurt anymore. Like
Yeah.
Understood.
I'm tired of pain.
God. Yeah. That's such a great.
So like, and I don't even know why I'm saying this on Facebook Live and all of this, but I was just like super overwhelmed, and I'm just like, stay in the fight, B, stay in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. It's been like one thing after another, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
life is gonna do what life does, right, Apostle?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
here.
I'll be feeling you. Sometimes I just want to scoop you up and just be like, come be right here. Look, I've been trying. We've been here for 10 years. And from
That's
day
crazy.
one, Bernicia will tell you, I've been trying to get her here this entire time.
Since I've met the Morrises, they've been trying to get
Have you
here.
heard a name? Which name is it?
It's been you that
Bernicia
they've been
Jackson.
trying to get here.
I've been trying to get her here. There's some people that you just feel like you should be close to you. And I thought about you, Bernicia, today. Let me tell you this while we just take this moment to just minister and pray. I said to the Lord on Sunday, I was in this place of study, and I said, I don't know why you came up in my spirit. And I said, God, wow, I am so glad that you gave me Bernicia. Like Bernicia doesn't even recognize, and I'm telling you now that you have become one of the greatest friends to me. You listened to me. You let me walk you through some really difficult days in your life, and it made me better. I don't know if you recognize how much value you have in my life. You are a part of my family. There is nothing that you go through alone. If you call, I'm coming, dizzy and all.
Mm,
You say I need, and look, and I've done it before, right? If you say that you need something, I'm gonna do my best to see about getting that done. You don't go through anything by yourself. Nothing. Even when you don't say anything. The Lord says something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you love God? The Lord will start speaking on people's behalf and be like, listen, call them, send
Okay.
them something, tell them to get on the plane, come down. They need a break. What do we need? And it's not all the time that we are not thinking about it. Sometimes this life is busy everywhere. But tonight I'm gonna stop you and tell you the same way we walk through those things is the same way we're gonna walk through all of this. Nothing has changed except for distance in geography, but nothing has changed. Nope, nothing, nothing. So in this moment, I just pray. I pray, God, that you would lift the load of my sisters that are on this line with me, paneling to try to encourage other people through LYFE Forum while we are managing through our own struggles and challenges. You have promised to be the lifter of our head. We are encouraged by you, God, but we are also encouraged by the strength of one another. We will not fall, even though it feels like we're falling. We will not fail, even though, hallelujah, it feels like we're failing. You've got this and everything else concerning us. So help us have a mindset that continues to know that our foundation will always be you, God. And in you we live, move, have our being. Our strength is in you. Our foundation is in you. You are still working things out for us. And we stand in that power, knowing that even in this thing, with as wearisome as it is, that you will get us through this too. We speak to each other today. Social media just gets to observe it, but we speak to each other that there is no weapon that is formed against us that will ever be able to prosper. It will not take us down. We will not succumb to anything that is trying to take us away from our purpose, assignment, or even life. We won't succumb to it. We won't. Things are heavy now. So, God, give us a break.
Yes, God.
Lift our head. Give us a reprieve. Let the wind blow in the midst of all that is going on so that we just know that even in the wind, just like you were speaking to Elijah, you're speaking to us. Give us semblance of your presence. My God, give us semblance of your presence. Just let us know we recognize you, even the still small
Okay.
voice of you. We recognize you. We're not asking for big signs and wonders. We're just asking for your presence in whatever capacity that you will share it in us and with us. Give us a break.
Yes, God.
Give us a break. And with all that we carry, help us to learn to take them, to know when we need them, to know when we need to stretch out our arms and ask for assistance. Help us to understand it and to know it so that we can be Christ every day in the community of our people and amongst each other in Jesus' name. We give you praise. Listen, I don't know if anybody else needed that on social media side, but I know I needed it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm hearing a lot of breathlessness in people's spirit. Breathlessness, breathless. Things are tight. It's hard to breathe. Breathless. And every now and again, we just need to stop and just remind ourselves and inhale the breath of God. Listen, some of this stuff that we've been encountering, sometimes we will look around and be like, God, was this my fault? No. Sometimes this journey has just been assigned to us in a way that we don't always understand or see it, but it has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We can get through any obstacle. God, Christ is the Christ of every crisis. I still believe that. I still believe that there is a Christ in every crisis. I still believe it. There's a way of escape when we blink, when we go take a nap and wake up. There is an answer. There's a solution. We may not always like the solution, but He provides it. He told us that He would always be with us.
Mm-hmm.
Always. whithersoever we would go. He is not a man that he should lie. Apostle Joyce posted something earlier today. She said, there's one post that you'll never be able to put up, and that's the one that says that Jesus never failed. Because he never does. I said, Mom, this was cute. I love it. I love it. But he doesn't. When we think back through it, right? He doesn't fail. He doesn't. I'm encouraged by you all. I'm encouraged by your presence. I'm encouraged by this moment. Thank you for your transparency, B. Your
Mm.
honesty. Yeah. If we are tired at these stages as we get older, it means in some regard that sometimes we've just been carrying so long.
Yeah.
Now our body is like, you know what? You don't even recognize how long you've been carrying this. Maybe it's just time to kind of release some things and let them go. The body changes, it ages. It's like, nah, I can't keep doing this way. Not anymore, you know? And so I'm sensitive to that with you. And so however we need to move things around, I just want you to know that we are here for you.
Always.
Here for you. Here for you. Yep. We are
Thank you,
here for
guys.
you. Yeah. Always. All of that comedy that be lifting up people. Yep. I just don't want to hurt no more. That's a whole thing.
It's surely I felt that.
That's a whole thing. I mean, in this day, and this will be my life thought. In this day, I've heard 13-year-olds say, "I'm just tired." 11-year-olds say, "I'm just tired." Another person send word because their child was attempting suicide. Another word comes through that somebody needed to be what we call down here Baker acted because some other young person is just in this space. This is all in a matter of 4 days,
Mm.
right? And we wonder, like, what is going on? What kind of darkness is living in the earth that people don't have any level of seemingly what we would call resilience? And life, watch this, right? Think about this. Life is not, for some people, life is not what it used to be.
No.
Children could be children to some degree instead of taking on adult spaces and adult roles.
Mhm.
Individuals could afford to live, right? The economy has really gotten to a different space, and it is hard to keep selling individuals the same kind of information when there are seemingly no results, and people get tired. They do. They get tired, and I'm not going to even tell you or try to sell you an answer. Because we are all discovering that journey in the walk of life with
Mhm.
God, each individually and collectively, which is why I think it's so important that now community is the biggest thing that we could do to benefit one another, being together so that people don't even feel alone, even if they are in pain. Ooh, that's a heavy space, but it's still true. Listen, if you got to be in pain, let me rub your back. And then by the time I finish rubbing your back, you might need to rub mine.
Mm.
Because I might be in pain because the load is heavy, right? Yep. We be together. We pray together. We
Mhm.
encourage together. Community is so important and we're losing it for so many other reasons. And I think we got caught up in the other reasons for so many years that we don't even recognize that community is being lost. And we got to do something about that. For our young people, hype is important. For our older people, B said that in her older age. I said, good Lord, all these people younger than me, they talk about being old. We ain't old yet. We just crossing the halfway points, right? All of this is important. It's crucial. It's critical for a life journey. So, yeah. Today, my life thought in continuation was around having the right mindset.
Mhm.
Because sometimes you ever tell one person, no, five people the same thing and five people approach it differently? That their framework of their mind can be so um, limited. And sometimes you'll recognize that our framework is not solid.
Mhm.
It's not built on the foundation of who God has made us, and then we build structures on faulty places, and then those walls start falling. It can be difficult to move forward when we don't address our mindsets, when we don't recognize how much we need them in order to do the things that we do. I didn't know that I needed a certain type of mindset to raise Kayla. Kayla can take down my whole family. And you know my family's big. From 6'1" to me 5'9" to Sabrina to Layla. Kayla's energy in that spectrum nature can take down my whole house if we don't have the right mindset, right? So it can be interesting. And so sometimes we don't always know why God is allowing certain things or why our life is made up for certain spaces. But we are already been preconditioned to handle what we think we don't know we can handle. Our community, our connection keeps us knowing, staying reminded that you got this and you can do this and we're going to help you do it. So
Yeah.
mindsets are everything. Remember that I said it. Remember that I said it. Our other partner, he is out at rehearsal until 8 o'clock. He probably gonna try to pop in later. But yeah, I know, right? Because he can't stay away.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. We had an amazing week last week with Dr. Ursula.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she
went back and watched it. Like, I think I watched it twice.
did you. What did you pull out of it?
Um, I just honestly, I played the background.
Yes.
Like, I didn't even finish I didn't get to finish the live, but I hear you guys talk about her
Mm-hmm.
all the time, even from when I used to get on the calls for Kia
Mm-hmm.
on Mondays. Um, so but to actually, see her close and personal, I just thought she was awesome. Um, and I was out, well, I can't, you ever wake up? I'm sorry, this is a side note. I had came home from work and my room looked like Hurricane Hugo had hit it. So I said, Lord, I know I got something going on, but let me get right. So I started cleaning my room and I was about like when I said that I was just got myself together about 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I had put the live back on, but I don't even have a point to draw. I just feel like I feel like her energy was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um and like that as a whole was just like it was really good. It was something that she said and I can't even remember.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Everything.
um I don't want to lie. So I don't want to make anything up, but it was good. It was
It's
good.
okay. For those of you that are listening to us on social media, we have a YouTube channel. It's the Evolution Church Stowflow. You can go there. Last week's segment is already uploaded. Yeah, we had a really good time with Dr. Ursula last week, just honoring iconic women. And she was the one
And she left
person.
us. She did right on out.
Did she? Yeah, she
Yeah,
did. She just got off.
she did.
Right.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, she did a wonderful job of that. So if you want to catch that, if you weren't able to catch the live, it is on our YouTube channel. This week, our men are not
Yeah,
with us. What is going on with
yeah,
that?
they do.
They busy.
Mm.
That's why they're so iconic. They're busy.
That's why they're so iconic. Let me show this slideshow. I'm gonna see you, B, but the social media audience is going to see this. The reason why, let me explain first though. The reason why I wanted to do this is because first of all, it's Black History Month. Tomorrow is the celebrated Love Day. Hopefully, everybody is going to first be loving on God and then loving on yourself. You loving God is you loving yourself, enjoying that experience. But in Black History Month, we wanted to make sure that we took the time to not just speak about scriptural things, but to honor our human existence and things that are happening right around us with people that are right around us. And so we took the time to segment our women last week. This week, we wanted to segment our men and just bring some reference to some significant individuals and speak about them. Now, I am the only one that pulled photos, but I did ask.
You did.
I asked for people to send me things that they wanted or whom they wanted to highlight. So I'm going to show this slideshow, but then I
Oh,
want you all to pipe in because we've got some amazing men of God in our lives. And you know what? Quite frankly, sometimes we as women don't do a good job highlighting our brothers. We talk about them well when they
Oh,
do
let me find a
bad things,
picture. Let me
right?
find a picture.
We take them to, and you can send it to me if you want to,
Okay.
or you got the share access, I think, as well, so you can do that, put that up. But we do a good job of talking about them when things are going bad.
Mm, I
Right,
do.
and rightfully so. We're annoyed. People have bad behaviors, and that's those things that we want to highlight. But I want to recognize some individuals that have done that are iconic in my life, and the reason why I'm saying that they are iconic in your life is because I know that everything that has been influenced through me um, has come from them in some form. So let me see if I can put this up. Some of you on social media, y'all may know them, some of you may not. Let's see if I can find them. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so y'all see it. Play for start. So this is our Black History Month. I think everybody should be able to see it
Yes.
everywhere we are. So we're honoring our men. Let's see the first one that is up. How many know this man?
Never seen of that.
B said, I never seen him, but everybody, if you've been in my life for at least 20 some years, he is probably one of the first individuals that you have ever met.
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
Dr. Sedgwick Daniels. He is our apostolic father. He covers our ministry, he covers our life. He is the one that is actually traveling internationally at the moment. And so would you all keep him in prayer if you're listening to me now? This man of God's mind is amazing. Tell me about your encounters. I think B, you probably have had more encounters with him because he used to come up north a lot.
He did. Um, my honestly, let me tell you, when I first my first encounter with Dr. Rick was like, honey, my ears was hurting, my brain was hurting. Like he was like spooky,
Mm-hmm.
theologically deep to me. I mean, it wasn't like to a point where you like people get like scared, but it was like word overload.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
so if you are like a person that's super churched and it's like not don't have no sound like really strong doctrine as far as your scriptures is concerned, he's gonna rip all of that up.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna
Yeah.
rip all of that because he's very word fundamental and foundational.
Mm-hmm.
And he just changes, like when he teaches, he just changes the way that you think. You can be reading Psalms 23 for the last 25 years,
Yeah.
and the way that Dr. Rick is going to dissect it is like, now that's not, yeah, I've been reading this. How did you see that?
Right. How?
It's like, how did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then on top of him being so highly intelligent and very firm in the word, it's weird that when you talk to him, he is one of the most down to earth people that you'll ever meet in your life.
Absolutely.
Like I know people that are like ain't like they just started bishoping or they might have just started pastoring and they act like they arrived. And this man that been all out of the country, all over the world, and he's like, all right, who want to go to anybody anybody want to go down here to South Street and we in Philly? Or
Mm-hmm.
what's your little strip in Miami?
Right.
South Beach, honey.
Right.
You gotta know, you gotta be able to, and then honey, don't if you can't hang, don't hang.
Don't do it. Absolutely.
Don't do it to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he's very down to earth, and very approachable. And it's weird. I'm telling you, it's weird, especially when you got these pompous people that's like, I just preached the word. Don't say anything to me today.
Yes.
Versus Dr. Rick is like, girl, I'm liking that hair. You working them shoes, girl. Where you get that bag from? Like,
That's mm-hmm.
like he's very approachable, and I just think that is rare
Mm-hmm.
um in the world today.
Yeah. It's a blessing to be connected to him and to have these experiences. I think Brianna Jackson has had less experiences with him. because over the last 3 years we've had not as many encounters, and over the last 2 years almost he's been back in the Milwaukee area. Is that
Oh,
right? Yeah, Milwaukee, Chicago, and so um, we had eating times with him. And then when Evolution Church launched, he talked. The message was "Be the first," which I still have printed out.
mhm.
This is a man that you have to keep his words. You got to keep his words because you're going to be reviewing them several times over. So he's iconic to me, and I'm grateful for him wherever he is, and we're praying for safe travel. Next iconic man, and he's iconic just because I met my husband through his church house.
The right Reverend Doctor. Come
The
on.
great Reverend Doctor. This is Bishop Anthony Hanna out of Chester,
Come
Pennsylvania.
on.
Yes,
He's the
and
people's bishop.
yeah, he is. He must be feeling he's Pennsylvania's bishop right now, because he
Listen,
seems to be everywhere, and he is at this phase where the Lord has really kind of allowed him to be a general in that space, consulting, feeding, pouring, parenting, leading. He's just doing so many awesome things, and just we're grateful to him. Brian passed through this church when I was passing out after preaching 8 years of their end of year revival. It's actually the same place that I met Bernicia.
mm,
Wow. And I
yeah,
just cannot believe all of this time has passed by. Because one
crazy.
year I came, it was just her. The next year I came, I think Paris was here.
Harris was there. Where's this name?
Yes. So there was a lot going on. So these are a lot of our roots. This man of God is a man of God, and he takes his space in the kingdom seriously. And we're so grateful to God for him. We've got some good people in our sphere. I'm not sure who the next individual is. Let me see. Bree, what you think?
The one and only Brian V. Mars.
It should be, right? It might be, but I don't know how I put this in order, so we're going to see.
Oh, there he is, guys.
Yes, he is. This is our other panelist that should be on with us tonight, but he is not. He is not in the first order, but he is in the first order of my whole life, and our dynamic. He holds the pastoral arm of the Evolution Church. He is right now in some significant study for this upcoming play that he's doing called Memphis at the Lauderhill Performing Arts Center. If you all are local, that play starts this week on the 15th, and they'll be running it for 2 weeks at the Lauderhill Performing Arts Center. So if you're interested, go onto their website and check it out. Brian is an iconic Black man.
Very much so.
He is. He is so full of wisdom in his young age. They be trying to talk about this 40, 41, 42 is
I want
old.
him to stop.
Y'all need to stop with this. Oh, I'm so old. No. The Lord has given him some good wisdom in his 40 years of living on this earth, 16 years being with me. After a while, we done had these kids. He's a blessing. Um, and is always to be honored. What would y'all say about the man of God? Y'all know him from different spheres. What would y'all say?
Mm,
Go ahead, Bree.
I was just gonna say he's awesome. Um, I've obviously met him. I met Pastor B in a time of, oh Lord, time of,
You
I
just
guess
want
we always growing, but a time of growth, a time of transition, going into a time of grief that I didn't know was coming.
mm,
Um, and he's just been great. I appreciate that he's always saw something that I could never see and wanted to help me with that as far as cultivating my gifts and whatnot. Very encouraging, very knowledgeable. Yes, he has a lot of wisdom, and he's like one of the greatest human beings on this earth. So yeah, he's like It's so crazy because he's like a whole bunch of things in one. He's my mentor. He's like an older brother. He's my spiritual father. Like, I don't even know how he did that. But he's my choir director, like my actual pastor. He's awesome. He wears many hats and he wears them well. I would say that.
They be tilted to the side.
Yeah, it'll be tilted. It'll definitely be tilted.
Hmm. They tilted to the side. Yeah. He's got phenomenal space and grace even over his life. Really grateful for that. B, I didn't know if you wanted to add anything to that pop.
Um, yeah, me and Brian have been friends for sheesh. Well, not Paris is 19. Paris will be 20 this year.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
when I met Brian, there was no Paris. Um, actually, I might not be telling the truth. I was pregnant with Paris when I met Brian.
Hmm.
We were singing with God's Chosen um at the time. Yeah. Yeah, that's when I met Brian. And like I don't know, like we were hanging, we had a circle, but you know, in the circle, it's always people who tend to be a little closer to other people. And I
Yeah.
don't know what it was, but me and Brian just always been A1s from day one. Like
Hmm.
he on a spiritual level, he has never I ain't gonna say he's never changed because he's evolved. Like I've watched Brian's whole um spiritual journey, like just like skyrocket, like from his prayer life. He's been human, has always been very giving. I'm definitely the watchful friend, and he had people around him that I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not, no, no. Just no. Just
Right.
no. We have bumped heads quite a few times. I mean, that's how you know that really are friends, when you are able to come back and be like, all right, well, I didn't like where you did such and such. Well, you shouldn't have did such and such.
Right.
And if you're friends, you should be able to check one another.
Right.
Brian has always been um very open. Like I could talk to him about anything. He's been a mentor to so many different young men. Because because he was a choir director, like he's was attached to many young musicians. Um, he's just always just like been really like that one person that you could count on if you needed to.
Yeah.
Um, I've just watched him grow. Like Brian wasn't a minister of anything.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when he started dating Apostle, I was like, oh Jesus. And I from the very beginning, I said, y'all gonna get married and y'all gonna have 25 kids and move away.
25 and move away. Oh
And
my.
move away.
25.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on here, but I never
Goodness.
spoke against their marriage. I just always and he would tell you that I always said, oh, y'all gonna get married. He was
20.
like, big, y'all gonna get married.
Hmm.
Y'all
Yep.
gonna get married. Y'all gonna get married. And I'm just watching like Brian, he's integral. Like he has a large spectrum of accountability.
Yeah.
Like he he's just Brian is if there was somebody that you will want your son or young men to like follow after, he would be that guy. And I'm glad to call him my brother and my
Absolutely.
friend.
Hmm.
Um yes,
I love
here
that.
goes my son.
Yes, Aiden joined because he's an iconic man that we're
Been
raising. Yes, he's an iconic
waiting for
man that we're
him.
raising. Yes. Yes.
Did you want me to send me my picture or you we fooled up? We fooled
No,
up.
we are full, but we can add that if you want to.
It might be on there. I don't have too many people that I fool with.
Okay. Well, hold on. When we finish this, then you can add yours. We'll just let you share
I'm
from your
about to give Aiden I'm just gonna text it to you and you do with it what you will.
Okay. Perfect. Let's
Because
see who
Aiden's
else is
about to take my
on this.
phone.
Oh! Y'all know who this is?
That boy,
Spud.
I've never met him.
the man child.
That is my one and only son, Craig Smith the second. I love this dude. That is my son. He is, oh God, how old is he now? He's going to be 30 this year, I think. He's
That's crazy.
yes, that he is this
This
old.
is nuts.
It is that we getting older in this stage and age. Yes, that is my son. I bless God for him, and that he is still alive and doing well when there are a lot of young men that are not living through a lot of the things that are taking place in the earth. I am grateful. So he is an iconic black man, and he doesn't have all the money in the world, and he doesn't have what he would even suggest is the best job. But at the stage that he is in his life, he is figuring it out, and he
Hmm.
is working on it. He has learned a great deal of independence. His father has been present for him through this stage, and I am grateful that I get to honor my own son. And see, here's the thing about why we're choosing the people that we choose or what we're saying, because we spend a lot of time honoring celebrities and all of the things that we would suggest that they do from these distances. But right amongst us, we don't even celebrate at times our own. Lift them up, empower them, encourage them, stand with them, be for them. So this is the space that I wanted to do that in. So this is my son in whom I am well pleased. Can I say that?
Yes.
Yes. We're gonna be here next year. We're gonna have Aiden's picture up here. I didn't put Aiden's picture in
Yay.
here because I said I'm just grabbing a few because I'm waiting for others. We should have put Kyle in here, people's fathers. And you know what? Even with all of the things that people we may feel that individuals have done for us, a part of their existence led for us to be here through them. And sometimes all it takes is just honoring those spaces. So this is CJ. Kudos to him. That's my son. I love him. I love him. Yep. Who
30.
else? Who else is on here? Ha! This is Brian Morris again, and the senior that is got him in his arms is the first Brian. So there's Brian Thomas, and then there is Brian Morris, and
Oh,
another iconic man who is no longer with us in this life existence. But we're so grateful for Brian Thomas because had it not been for his participation in making sure that Brian could arrive to this earth, that there would be no Brian Morris. Right? It's the best picture because those eyes are still the same.
They
yeah.
so cute.
Really
Yeah.
grateful for him and grateful for his dad. Grateful for the time that the Lord allowed full circle to come with him and his dad during his last year of life. We didn't expect that his life would end, but then there was such a restoration between their relationship, and it was overwhelming. It was so powerful. And sometimes we want those things to last, and little did we know that it wasn't going to last as long as we wanted it to, but we're grateful for the opportunity that it gave us. And so we've got iconic black men. Before we start celebrating everybody in those outer sphere, listen, those of you that are watching us on social media, who would you celebrate? Who can you name that is standing in arm's length next to you? Who's down the block? Who's a couple of houses down the row? Sometimes we just need to celebrate those individuals who don't have great titles, who don't have big names or whatever, who are working those 9 to 5s just to feed their family. They're focusing on their wives, they're focusing on their children. And if they've lost their way, we're praying that they find their way again because we need our black iconic men. So we celebrate Brian Thomas. We celebrate again Brian Morris. Who else is coming up on here? Ah, yes. So this blurred vision is what most people would consider would be the person that I look the most like, which would be my father. This blurred vision is a vision of my father. So if you look at his face, I have his same facial express. I have his face structure. He is got his arms wrapped around my mom, and although we didn't have a lot of time with him, a large part of one of the reasons why I'm here is because of their union and him planting the seed to establish me and my sister. And so we honor him. He is no longer in this life existence, but we honor his presence. We honor how God used him in order to create me and my sister. And I celebrate that. I celebrate who he is, who he was, and all that came through him. This, we know him as David Perry. That's my dad. Yep. Let's see. Ooh, that's the end of that piece of the slideshow. So I'm going to pull up some other ones, right? Because Bernicia just sent me some. Yep. Let me see.
Aiden,
What?
I have more, but Aiden took my picture. Aiden took my phone. So
Yes. So we got another iconic. Y'all ready? Hold on, hold on. I'm going to pull it up. Yes. Let me see. So we got that. We stopped that share. Let me see if I could pull up this other iconic one. And rightfully iconic, right? Rightfully iconic. Oh, it would be at the bottom. Rightfully iconic, yes. So let me see what I could do with this. Yeah, we can reshare this. And let me tell you, Bernice is going to talk about why this is so, why he is rather so important. Um, Let me see if I got it. Hold on, bear with me, because it didn't come in that thing. Hold on, do that again. And B, send some over if Brianna Jackson, you send some over if you need to. But this one is important for so many
you ain't
reasons.
gonna say nobody's iconic though, Bree.
Oh, she
Where
not.
you got some iconic people. Now stop.
Yes. So
Yeah,
this
I got
individual.
nothing.
That's my brother, the Right Reverend Dr. Bishop. Yeah.
Bishop
Bishop
Mark
Mark
Collier.
Collier.
Yes.
Yes.
Iconic. Iconic. You want to speak to why he is iconic?
Um, I think that, Bishop Collier is definitely, I think he's iconic because um just like on as far as his relationship with God and like his what's the word I'm looking for? His skill in leading people into worship
Yeah.
um has just been since I met Bishop Collier when he actually was probably 18.
Mm-hmm.
We're old now. He didn't have no children, no wife,
Right.
nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But I had never been exposed to like his ministry is like very pure as far as worship is concerned. And I had never been exposed to like an atmosphere that was like really pure and saturated in worship. Because a lot of times we get into church as a young adult, everything is
Yeah.
no.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you gotta slow some things down.
Mm-hmm.
And really, really get into the presence of God. And like he has grown from being just a praise and worship leader to being a pastor of worship,
Mm-hmm.
to being an elder,
Mm-hmm.
to launching his own ministry, and now to be um uh, well, I'm just recently ordained as a bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he has covered so many people,
Yes.
and I think what is so special about Bishop Collier is that he's silent. He moves in silence.
Yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't he doesn't like he's done so many things that should be broadcasted, and he does, but it's just like, okay, on to the next thing. He's
Mm-hmm.
very humble, and he has a lot of reasons to be a little arrogant
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because he sang behind a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
He's open for a lot of gospel artists, and even in the secular world, Patti LaBelle, Yolanda Adams,
Mm-hmm.
like he is a licensed vocal coach,
Mm-hmm.
like and the list goes on. He is an intercessor,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he a lot of things that Mark does. He's not a clout chaser, but he does a lot of things that people should people should acknowledge him for.
Yeah.
Um, and he's not even in our area anymore. He's in New York. But that's definitely my brother, and I love him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll fight you for him. I will. It's a lot of people used to be able to call me to sing. I don't do that no more. But
Yeah.
Mark, I'll be like, no, and then he's at my door, and I'm getting in a car. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said, yeah, I can tell you it was at 7:30. Yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's
Mm-hmm.
he's great.
He is. Bishop Mark is a it's so strange calling him Bishop
I
Mark.
know, but I have to say it. I have to say it. I
Right.
couldn't
It's so
say Mark.
strange. Not that he doesn't qualify that for that because he more than qualifies for that, right? So it's just that that was not necessarily we weren't a titled relationship. As a matter of fact, Brian and I had the privilege of marrying him and his wife.
Mm,
And so we had it was a wonderful encounter to just be with them and to be a part of that experience. But he is certainly iconic. Iconic, yeah, for sure. And so thank you for bringing him to our attention tonight. And for all of the other reasons, all of the other individuals that I just happen to list from my lens. Um, the ladies have individuals that are iconic men from their lens. You all speak to that because I think one of the passions that I think both of you know my what I have shared about my testimony as it relates to coming up in ministry. Some of it we talked about last week in my whole spiel about being in my women's liberation space because of the limitations, the framework about around what it was that we could or could not do, and all of those things that we struggle with. It seems like over these last 10 years, like the Holy Spirit has really healed me through a lot of spaces. Number one, but then I started to see that there was nothing that we were ever going to get done, even as women, without our counterparts because the holistic space of that looks like everyone providing every one of their energies. It's like every gift, every joint is supposed to supply. And so if I was going to understand that scripturally, then I had to reconcile what my feelings were about my experiences that caused me to be like, nah, I'm okay. Nah, I don't want to be connected. Nah, this whole quote unquote, men are no good spaces because we get damaged by those spaces. And you know what? The funny thing is, Bree Jackson, you know what I thought about today when I was thinking about this? I said, as much as we think that some men have been the trauma story in our lives, some of us women have been the trauma story in a guy's life too.
Oh, child,
yeah.
I don't want to hear my story. Ah,
Right.
It on
I
But
know
Put it
I'm
on the
nothing.
river, brother.
we don't even
It's
highlight
the
it, right?
truth.
Talk about that because we've been the trauma in a brother's story all day, and some men have not recovered, but they don't talk about that like that. But we be male bashing, male this. Somebody talk about that.
All I'ma say is I've been trauma because I didn't interrupted wasn't right.
Got
So
it.
that's now your new trauma. Trying to
Mhm.
go back to what you was doing before, and I done told you about you.
Got it.
Now you trying. It's a fight now. Now you traumatized because somebody done walked in and gave you the truth. I'm not
That's
always right.
mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You're
not.
not always. We haven't
Um,
always been the perfect Patty in the story either. And
yeah, I absolutely understand that. I don't think I've caused anybody any severe trauma. I might have gave them some gray hairs because I'm hard to get close to.
mm,
Um, as
mm-hmm.
sociable as I am, I'm very open with on the firm spectrum. But when you start talking about you wanna be over here,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm over analyzing what you got going on. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't like that all the time. So if you get right here,
Mm-hmm.
you did some things. So if I let you right here and
Don't
you
tell
didn't
us
do
what the
right,
things were, though. Don't tell us what the things were. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Don't tell
I wouldn't do that.
us.
I wouldn't do that. All I'm saying is, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. Right.
This is my story for 2024.
See? See, because we was the
I'm
bad guys.
sorry.
Yeah, we were the. My
Listen,
husband was
I
on.
wasn't, I probably was somebody's trauma.
I
Yeah,
know I was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all.
Sorry.
Dang.
What?
We was somebody's trauma, and then we'd be mad.
Trauma.
We'd be mad when we feel it or when we get it back. And sometimes it's not always our gentleman's fault, right? And so,
Yeah, sometimes it wasn't. I was working through some stuff.
mhm,
You just kind of caught, like, you was ready and I wasn't. Sorry.
mhm,
The timing of thought,
yes, we may not. It,
the
it may not
timing.
have worked out in the best way. What do you think, though? What do you think? Maybe and maybe it's only happening in America, so we have a slanted view about that too. But what do you think brings reconciliation to the male and female space, where men honor women and women honor men? What do you think needs to happen there?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What do you think needs to happen in the space where men honor women and women honor men? What do you think needs to happen?
In order for us to be able to honor each other,
Honor
Reconcile.
each other or be reconcile that, work together in harmonious spaces, walk together as an empowered people, because this is Black History Month, right? And we're seeing a
yeah.
lot of, and we're not talking, racial divides or anything like that. We're just highlighting Black history and we're celebrating our history for this month. So just for the sake of this month, what do you think reconciliation starts to look like with our Black men and Black women, so that we can ultimately end up on the same side?
I think it starts with honesty to me.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm supposed to
and as a woman, I'm gonna tell you, we always say we want the truth.
No, we don't.
We want our truth.
Mm,
Like,
something that sounds good. Yeah.
we
Ooh,
want whatever was in my head. I need you to confirm that. We looking for confirmation, and
Which
don't be
part?
coming over here with no new ideas, messing
Yeah, we
up my
didn't ask
thought
you
process.
that. That's not what I asked you.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. So, and I think on our end, we need to be able to be honest with ourselves first and
mm-hmm.
be open to receiving the honesty because perception is everything. And if I appear to this man as a broken woman who didn't want to be healed, and I
Wow.
say I'm not broken, but I really was.
Yes, you is
I
too.
really was. I was just blind. I was just comfortable. The bone had healed a certain way that I was maneuvering life the way that I needed to maneuver it because this is just what I got. Now you want to come along talk about I can get a whole new bone put in. No, what you talking about? This is my brokenness.
And I want to
It's
keep it.
comfortable here. I
I
don't
want to
know
say,
what's over there.
come
Right.
on. Ooh, I wasn't ready
So
for this kind of truth tonight, ladies. Y'all bringing it for the
Thank
brothers.
you too. And we need to
Wow.
communicate. And yeah, being held accountable aligns with what B was saying. Be okay with accountability. I would say on both sides, but I would say it's the women more than the men that don't like to be
yeah,
held
it be
accountable
us.
for nothing. We be ghetto. We don't want no accountability. Like, we don't want to give no apology, no nothing. Just by the end of the day, everybody good. You cool? I'm cool. That's just, just leave it where it's at. Don't want to communicate about nothing.
Now, see, I gotta disagree with that. Like, if you have been in a relationship with me, which haven't been that many of you guys, um, I can be annoying because I over communicate. Like,
So,
I hate when I'm not able to get my point across.
mm,
And if you are a person that's just like, all right, that was yesterday.
mm-hmm,
Right.
Let's move on. No, well, yesterday hurt me, and I need to talk about that.
got
Mm-mm.
it.
Some people
I
don't
need to
do
talk about
that.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when okay, and don't be passive aggressive when you tell me to go ahead. All right, go ahead, go. You
Ooh,
done now?
Lord.
See now I want
See, no.
no. Now I
So
want to fight.
wait, so much came up in all of that because now I want to over communicate, right? But then when I over communicate and somebody can't handle that over communication, now I'm mad at them for not being able to handle what I'm trying to give them, and then I become defensive, right? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we're back at square one. It becomes really interesting when we're trying to navigate these spaces because, number one, let me say this, I am not denying anybody's hurt in any type of relationship with any person, right? I'm just speaking specifically about us being able to really work on how we reconcile these relationships so that we can be in better positions together, whether we're in deeper relationships or not. Um, there are many types of relationships that don't have to be marriage, that don't have to be partnerships. They can just be working together. We've got, and we look at it, right? Even in church experiences, religious circles, where there is still this conversation. It was so funny to me the other day. I saw somebody post about it. There's still this conversation about um, can women preach? And I looked at the post and I laughed and I kept scrolling. But later on in the day, it made me rethink it because I said, oh, okay. I remember when I felt like I needed a male partner or a father who would speak up for all of the gifts in me, not just for the gifts that people felt were assigned to my gender.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's why Dr. Rick is so significant to me. As a matter of fact, Bishop Hanna as well. He heard me come hollering through these streets when I was 24, and he started bringing me back to his church every year. It's a great thing when we have our men of God who are really advocating for those spaces, not just in those types of relationships, but other relationships that allow us to be who we fully are in all of those expressions. And sometimes we don't value that because we can't hear what they're saying when they honestly say, you know what, you might need to refine that a little bit. We
Mm-hmm.
want to be heard sometimes, but we don't always want to hear. And so I think that that's why that's such a powerful point. What you think about that?
I think
Oh, go ahead.
in general, I spent a lot of years trying to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just trying to be heard. That because I put that much energy into it, it can be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
It can be overwhelming for people. And
Mm-hmm.
it has to be checks and balances with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I know I'm a naturally an emotional person. And that a lot of guys, some guys are emotional and they're very in touch with their emotions. Some guys aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that I needed somebody that would meet me with my emotionalism. When
Mm-hmm.
really I needed somebody that was going to be firm. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you don't got to do all of that. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but in my head, I thought I needed somebody to get down. Oh, babe, that's how you been feeling. I don't want that. I, I thought that was what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
But when I analyzed it, it was like, no, maybe I don't want that. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
we both can't be emotional.
I was just about to say, both of us
Somebody got to be
can't be
the
the girls.
What you
Mm.
say, Bree?
Both of us can't be the girls. No, I can't do that.
Girls are not the only ones that are emotional, but I understand
How
what
it
you're saying.
feels like you're just, I can't be with another extremely emotional being. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried it. Mm,
Doesn't work. So then what happens though when we don't appreciate the framework, the foundation, the structure that the man brings, we be in the midst of the foundation emotionally wreaking havoc instead of really just saying, okay, I am like this. I've got to get used to walking with someone who provides a space of safety, structure, so that my wife, woman, my friend can be themselves without feeling threatened by not having a structure, right? Sometimes we don't always we pray for things and we don't always know what we need, and then when it comes, because it's not familiar to us, we start to automatically defend against it until we start to realize, oh, ooh, maybe I needed this and didn't recognize it, because then you start to feel peace
mm-hmm,
in the midst of that protection,
mm-hmm.
right? That honesty piece is something powerful, guys, because I think you both talked about it. Just being honest, but not first honest with them, honest with us. And relationships, if you're talking about relationships, whatever relationship, it's going to show us the context of ourselves. We're going
Um,
to be chiseled in the fire of relationship. Because you're not going to live with somebody too long without being able to see yourself. They ain't gonna be able to see you. You won't be perfect in front of them. We're not just dating here. Now we behind closed doors. You're gonna see some stuff that I ain't never shown you before. What you gonna do with it?
That's true.
Right? So our space with our African American men, our black men, um, especially because they've had such levels of degradation with oppression, slavery, all of that. It always feels like they're always under the rug at some degree. So even with other cultures of men, our black men seem to always be a step under, and they're always seemingly trying to fight their way to another space. Do you all experience that when you're engaging with your black men, Delaware, Miramar, wherever we are down here? How do you see that?
Mm, what you said, I feel like it's true. Um, I guess you just see it in the way that they operate in things. I'm saying, like, as far as like, for me, I mean, I work with men and women, and I also work with men and women from different cultures and, you know, coming from different backgrounds
Mm-hmm.
and all that other stuff. And you can see men operate, the African American men operate in that. Um, yeah, it kind of sucks though.
What do you say?
Because you said as far as them with, what did you say about oppression?
Yeah, us having a history of oppression, it just always feels like they are one step below, always trying to come up in different
Yeah.
spaces. And even if they over measure, right? They
Yeah.
still don't measure up in spaces. And that's got to do something significant to the psychological makeup of an African American man. And again, not speaking from a racial perspective tonight, we're just honoring our own people tonight, our month of Black history. We highlight the spaces that we still walk through and that we still as a people struggle through. So yeah, it just seems like they're always catching up with this space,
That's true. That's true. I
right?
mean, they're
What?
always trying to do things to get ahead. That's what
Mhm.
I'm saying. As far as like, that's why I was asking, what did you say specifically about oppression? But yeah, well, my workplace is an easier place to be able to talk about, obviously, because it's somewhere I am every day. But yeah,
Mhm.
I see the men there. They try to do certain things or try to stay one step ahead when it comes down to certain things, and they're never recognized, they're never seen for it.
Mhm.
But then it could be somebody that do less that, are not us, and they're very much seen, very much recognized. They're the hardest workers. They get the best bonuses. Oh my God, this guy's so great. You know, it can be something as small as taking a break. And it's like, what are you doing? You
Mhm.
weren't working all day, or whatever the case may be. And on the other side, it's like they weren't working all day, but they're on a forever break. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I'm just saying I see it all the time. I wish that they can come up out of that though. But it's not easy coming up out of it when it's always pushed on you, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Because even in doing great and everything, like I said, the recognition is not there.
Mhm.
Positions that have been earned are not given.
Mhm.
Um, and then, even outside of that, we continue to see so many other things in the news outlets, the social medias, dealing with things with family members and whatnot, things that we have personal experiences. And it's like they can't catch a break. Any
Mhm.
so it's like, where do we go from here? What
Mhm.
do we do? So yeah, I think it plays a major part in a psychological sense for our men. I just don't know what we can do to support them to help them get to a better space.
Mhm. See, we needed them to be speaking to that, right? And we need them maybe sometimes in our spaces with listening to them. It doesn't mean that as we listen to them that you're taking flack per se. Oh, wait, let me get this black man on because he's on. Maybe he can speak to it. Hey, I see you. You must be finished.
Hey,
Hey,
Um,
Brian.
yeah, we're not asking individuals to take flack or necessarily excuses or all of that. This is not what this conversation is about, because sometimes there are certain things that we can control. We can control how we encourage, how we support, how we speak to. Um, and so, since we have a Black man who is free from rehearsal, you come and speak to this. Are you on your way home now?
His mic is muted.
Oh, I didn't.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Yes, yes. I just they just put us out.
They just put you out. So
Yes.
in the darkness, let there be some light. Can
My
you?
God, Jody, if you don't get out of the street, thanks.
Yes, my God, today.
Here you go, terrorizing people. Please drive well. Don't hit nobody.
Mm-mm.
She just need to get out the street.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Get
Listen.
out the street. Get out the street and learn her lines. How about that?
Oh my God. You can be petty online.
Oh my.
Please don't do it.
I'm sorry.
Brianna just asked a great question as it related to how to support, how we find ourselves supporting, not knowing what to do in order to help with our African American men coming up out of spaces that they have been impacted by psychologically. We were talking about oppression, them always feeling like they need to come up higher in spaces that other people are not necessarily have to. Um,
Uh-huh.
and we didn't have anybody on the line. Then you popped on. Look at
Yes,
that.
you
My
did.
God.
My God. How
Well,
would you
won't he
speak
do it?
to that? How can we support that for our
Mhm.
African American brothers?
I think probably what I say all the time is to make available the points points and areas of full and total honesty and the ability to be completely clear um with 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 you. I think the impact of the impact of men, specifically men of color, is about the fact that we've taken on the culture of, we're the strong silent type in spaces where we really need to be in a space where we are very more vocal than anything else. So when you feel like you don't have opportunities to really share and express um, your feelings, your shortcomings, and your spaces of doubt, moments and times that make you feel in yourself weak,
Mm,
um, you need somebody, or you need a community that's going to be with you. That when you feel like this truth is making you look weak, that they're not sharing in that lie. That
Mhm.
actually honesty and truth is actually your actually strength. And when that comes, that leaves spaces for men to feel safe, because men need to feel safe too. And I think it's hard for men to say that I need to feel safe, because in most spaces we're supposed to be the ones who provide safety.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
um so um so so we need to be honest with ourselves and say that we need safety. We might not necessarily always need safety when it comes physically, but we need safe mental spaces and safe emotional spaces that give us opportunity to speak candidly.
Got it. That was a good answer.
Very great answer.
Yeah, you came in at the right time, because sometimes we don't always know. We think that the answer is bigger than what we have the ability to do, but we can do that right in our own sphere, in our own home.
Mm-hmm.
When we're growing our sons, we can make sure that they understand those spaces. If we have a partner and we're growing it, the family as a family, to make sure that we respect and honor each other and realize that we are the influence, we have the influences of our development prior to us, right? Our parents were developed a certain way, their parents were developed a certain way. There are things that we are still unraveling, shedding through, that, for them it was the best version. For us, we've learned differently, and so there are some things that we will hold on to, some things that we learn to let go. And sometimes that space of having to protect myself for so long is no longer necessary, but I haven't paid attention to the fact that I no longer need to protect myself. Right? So when you're doing
Right.
something in a season, when you no longer need it, who's that going to frustrate? Not just the other individuals or the people around you, but you.
Right.
We start saying, I'm tired. We think that we're tired of external things, but it's really all of the things that we're still carrying that we no longer need to.
Mhm.
And so that can trip us up at times, but awareness is everything. And I'm so grateful that you were able to pipe on. It's already 8:25. 8:15 is our target. So we like to get off at this space. Listen, ladies and gent, y'all give final words before we get off.
Um, I guess we just need to find a way to reconcile, huh?
We all looking sleepy tonight. If y'all recognizing that, it's because it's the truth. We working people. We be
Yeah.
running on here after work,
Yes.
after listening to people, holstering people, teaching people, whatever other things that we be doing.
Oh,
We be running on here after work, be like, oh, we tired, but it's still a joy to be here. So that's what y'all seeing on us tonight. We're gonna get it together by next week.
Yeah.
We are.
But
Bree said we're gonna work on reconciling, right?
yes, and we need to support our Black men. We gotta do better at creating those safe spaces.
Hmm.
I think some of us do terrible jobs.
Terrible job, huh?
Hmm.
We're gonna work
I
on that.
think for me, like I have 7 brothers. Um, I have 7 brothers, and I didn't have my dad growing up. Like my brothers were like my dad.
Hmm.
So they not perfect, but all of my brothers are they try their best to be good fathers.
Hmm.
Um and I watched their struggles, and I just feel like in general we just need to be in a better place of encouragement, because you men don't always do right, women don't always do right, but sometimes instead of heavily finger pointing out what they're not doing, is just try to acknowledge one thing that they are doing that is good. Like all of the people that we highlighted tonight as, like, iconic in our lives, they did something or showed something that allowed them to stand out.
Hmm.
um and we don't want people leaving here not knowing how important they were.
Yeah.
Small things like putting training wheels on my bike growing up was
Hmm.
major for me. Like, I was raised by my grandmother. She didn't know how to do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
She didn't know how to do that. When I got in trouble in school, my brother, who is an educator, will pop around the corner, like, and I would listen. I would be in class like acting a fool, and they'd be like, "What's your last name?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Jackson." "Oh, I don't know no Jackson, but what's your family?" And I'm like, "Oh, the Dukes." "Oh, Marvin Duke." Like, oh, I was being good. I don't need you to go on here and be telling my business.
Hmm.
Like, my brother just kept me aligned, and like just just letting them know how important they are to you.
Hmm.
Just like that one word of encouragement could change somebody's whole day, or how they feel about what they got going on moving forward. I
Yeah.
hope my brothers know how important they are to me, because woo child,
Hmm.
come get your niece and your nephew.
Okay, come
If
pick them
you're
up.
watching this is a cry for help. but but
I love it.
but no,
Oh, she froze on me. There you go.
just just try to find a way, and it could be subtle. My boss is a male.
Hmm.
But all she knows is the day he just be like, "You done? Okay. So now what can we do?" And I love it. I'd be like, "All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on." Thank you. That's all I ask, Jackson. That's all I ask.
Hmm.
So just find a way to be encouraged. Like, subtract one negative, even if they are doing things that are not right. Subtract one negative trait, and then you can find one thing that they're doing great, and use that.
Yeah.
Use it.
Build
Mhm.
it.
Use
I
it.
love that. I love that. Thanks for that. Pastor B, while you are, I put you on mute, but now I'm asking you to unmute. Final thoughts?
I probably gave my final thoughts. I guess my final thoughts for this, what I was thinking about is we did iconic women last week, and we did iconic men this week. I think the importance of both of those things is to understand that we probably need to be in a we need to allow ourselves to understand one another, because I think it's something about when iconic women and iconic men come together. We're not separate,
Yeah.
but there's something that comes in the middle that where when understanding comes between the two, that we can make some successful changes in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we resolve sometimes where it's like, okay, for men, women are hard to figure out, and then women are like, sometimes men are hard to figure out, or they won't speak, or they won't say anything. I think the thing is that for us not to just kind of rest on that space where we just don't understand one another, but it's important for us to grab hold to the piece of ourselves that is the other, because there is femininity and masculinity in every individual. And when we tap into those spaces, and this probably won't be something that will register with people in of an earlier generation, because in that space it was like, I do this over here and she does this over here and vice versa. But in this generation and in the generations to come, it's important for us to they're realizing the importance of connecting or reconnecting to those different spaces, the yin and yang of yourself, in order for you to successfully become a balanced individual. So if that's the case, if you become a balanced individual when you connect to those spaces in oneself, then what work could we do when we have a connectivity of those spaces where the masculine energy, the man, and the femininity, the woman, come together and do work that only we could do with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably my last thought. Yeah, that's my last thought.
Thank you for all of those thoughts. We really appreciate it. For everybody that joined us, whether it was through the website or through social media, we thank you for participating in this conversation wherever you were. We're trying some different things out in order to be able to meet all of the audience where we can meet them. But we love when you participate and you join us in approaching these topics and these subjects. Remember, Life Forum is about our conversation. We talk about anything that pertains to life and godliness. So it won't just be scriptural. It will be natural. It will be psychological. It will be humanitarian. It will be creative. It will be all of those things that make us who we are. And all of those things that make us who we are have been given to us by God. And we celebrate and enhance and talk about all of it. So we'll end the night. It's 8:33. You all have a wonderful Black History Month continued. Have a wonderful love day tomorrow for whatever you do. Celebrate yourself, love on you while you share love with others, and have a great, great rest of your week. We appreciate you all. Have a good night and take care. Bye.